Imagine a single census line stretched across ancient hills, families counted, tribes named, identities sealed by history. Now imagine that line breaking, fragmenting, and drifting into myth. This is the story of the 10 lost tribes of Israel, a mystery born in 722 BCE when the northern kingdom of Israel fell to the Assyrian Empire, and a people who had lived together for centuries vanished from the pages of mainstream history. What happened to them? The answer is both prosaic and fantastical. Historical dispersal, assimilation, and 1,000 legends that pushed their memory to the edges of the known world. In the decades after the Assyrian conquest, imperial policy was ruthless but practical. Conquerors removed local elites and resettled populations to prevent rebellion. The biblical record and Assyrian inscriptions agree that many Israelites were deported. Some communities remained in the land under new governance, while others were relocated to regions of the Assyrian heartland, places that correspond to modern northern Iraq, Syria, and parts of Iran. Over generations, these exiles were likely absorbed into neighboring cultures. They intermarried, adopted new languages, and their distinct tribal identities faded. This is the sober, scholarly baseline. Disappearance through assimilation rather than dramatic extermination or miraculous vanishing. But human memory resists neat conclusions. Stories persisted. Jewish communities in Babylonia and the Levant told of kin lost to the north. Over centuries, as trade routes stretched and empires expanded, rumor and longing found new homes in maps and myths. By medieval times, the idea of the 10 lost tribes had become a powerful symbol, a longing for reunion that fueled both messianic hopes and political agendas. With exploration and colonialism, European travelers and missionaries began to connect distant peoples to this ancient story, often through a blend of curiosity, wishful thinking, and ethnographic error. Africa gave rise to enduring claims. Ethiopian Jews, the Beta Israel, preserved an ancient Judaic practice and oral traditions that some argued tied them to Israelite exiles. The Ethiopian narrative is complex and multi-layered. There were genuine Jewish communities with unique rites, while medieval Ethiopian chronicles and later European scholars sometimes conflated different origins. In West Africa, the Igbo of Nigeria and the Lemba of southern Africa likewise attracted attention. The Lemba preserve oral traditions of an ancestor who arrived by sea and certain ritual practices resembling Jewish ones. Genetic studies have found a Middle Eastern component in some Lemba paternal lines, though these findings are specific and do not equate to a wholesale Israelite origin. Beyond Africa, the legend grows wilder. Some medieval and early modern writers speculated the tribes migrated east across Asia. In Japan, a fringe theory held that certain clan myths and ritual practices hinted at Israelite origins. There is no credible historical or genetic evidence to support a mass migration from ancient Israel to the Japanese archipelago. Such claims reveal more about the seduction of linking disparate histories than about decisive proof. The Americas, too, became a canvas for imagination. European settlers, encountering indigenous peoples and ancient ruins, sometimes read their discoveries through a biblical lens. The idea that the 10 lost tribes had crossed oceans and populated the New World appeared in speculative writings, but serious archaeology and genetics have found no substantiation. These tales tell us less about migration paths and more about how the Bible was used as a framework to interpret unfamiliar cultures. Why do these legends endure? Partly because the notion of a lost kinship is emotionally potent. Entire communities, separated from a religious center, long to narrate noble origins. Political motives also played a role. In the modern era, claims of Israelite descent have had real consequences, shaping identity, land claims, and relationships with the State of Israel. So where did the 10 lost tribes go? The historically grounded answer is that many were deported and gradually assimilated into surrounding populations within the ancient Near East. The more colorful answers, migrations into Africa, Asia, or the Americas, are fascinating as cultural artifacts. They reveal how societies weave identity, hope, and authority into stories. The real mystery may not be a missing map, but the human impulse to find oneself in an ancient promise, to believe that even after dispersal, belonging can be reclaimed. In the end, the lost tribes live on not only in dusty records and DNA studies, but in the stories we tell about who we are and where we came from.